Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. I'm going to talk about something different in a minute here, but Professor Sam Vaknin this morning has a video titled Control. Wait. What was that? Just a sec. Control reality and mental illness. And yeah, so he knows that it's possible for somebody with narcissism like he has to control himself. We've been going back and forth with this stuff for I encountered him probably a long time ago, you know, and always spoke my mind on this situation to him. And maybe it isn't beating a dead horse. Maybe there's some life in that old bag of bones. I'm not sure. He's younger than me, so I can say that. But um, yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. Because I know I have the best emotional abilities with other people on this planet. It's something I'm really good at if I choose to do that. Hey, I've been pushed, I could say, for millions of years, and that's what it's felt like with these people trying to take time to be close to them and teach them. No, it's not like that anymore. And people were told, these entities were told, you know, you either get with the program and know you did not make yourself, and there is that supreme being that is not you, and not every, no, we are not facets of that. We are offsprings of that. That does not make us that. Till people are in connection with that part of God's Spirit, you'll continue to piss them off and disappoint. So that's my outlook on the whole thing, and I do believe that's a major thing with my physical things I've had and emotional, mental, whatever it was, overcoming things and keeping strong is the God within inside myself, not me being him, but actually in connection with that spirit of God. And I'm not going to say anything different for anybody's reasons. I don't care what anybody thinks. I know what's been working for me, and I'm just going to tell it like it is. This is what my topic today is. These people that believe that they are excellent leaders and teachers out here and don't have one motive advice on how to get over any given mental illness or emotional whatever, but yet they say they're ministers or pastors for or priests or whatever, or the Son of God themselves. Wouldn't you think, this is my topic, if you were so close to God that you'd say you're the Son of God, where is your knowledge of any kind of science that God has on this planet? Huh? That's what I want to know. Where's your connection? You know, it's not magic. I'm not asking for a freaking magic show or a display of clownery. I'm saying, where's your actual knowledge of the mechanics of things in the world? Huh? That's what I thought. So anyway, that's why I'm going to just keep talking, because no, a lot of these people say they are close to God, but they're the dumbest. I'm not even going to say ignorant. You're goddamn dumb. Just fucking stupid. your lack for wanting to learn, it's not even mind-boggling. It's all I can think is, um, it's repulsive. Inside myself, I cringe. It's cringe-worthy. It is. You know, you give a person a chance, like, really, what's in there? What do you know? That type of thing. You know, like if they're gonna go into it and tell you, hey, this is what the dark cabal is. This is the connection with all the reading material that they put forth and twisted and all this shit. And you're actually a scholar digging down into that stuff. I mean, I've got a video called My Old Dictionary. It's a 1921 Webster. It's the only one with the code for the different languages. Like, say, if it were Greek, GR, capital GR, and if it had like a minus sign by it, or some type of symbol next to it, you can tell what's going on within that code. I decoded the King James and Masonic Blue Book with using a 19 earlier. It's got to be earlier than 1920, or I mean 21. That was the cutoff date. And mine is 21. That's the oldest one I could find decades ago now. It's so wore out. When I pick it up, it wants to scream at me. You know, I don't really need it much anymore. And don't get me wrong, there's not like Britannica or whatever. I grew up with sets of world books and atlases and you name it. And I was surrounded by the top of the line um, esoteric knowledge. So yeah, I've been at this for my whole life. Yeah. People would be really hard pressed to tell me something like that I'm not aware of. Excuse me. Had to reposition. So yeah, I'm not just you know. Let's talk. Say something, and if I'll guarantee you, if I say I know that, I know that. There's a lot of things I've been showing in my mind of ancient times I can't prove, but I know it's a fact. And then when I hear something about it, it's like, yeah, right. Sure be nice to be able to talk to somebody about that. I think there's people that do have actual shared memories and we just sense each other's souls. I really do. I'm not talking just intimate relationships. I'm talking like a familiar, like family type feeling with people, like brothers and sister type of thing. So, or kids, y'all, my kids, you know. So that's why I'm talking to everybody because I love people, you know. I don't always like them, but I do love. Think everybody's pretty cool. If they really felt that way about other people, they'd be really working hard and applying themselves in certain areas to make that really apparent to people. It just depends on their drive for those reasons. I mean, I'm going to say it again like I did yesterday. When you're dealing with somebody that destroys other people in various different ways with these crafts that they use, when you approach somebody with a sentence of destruction before they can even apply their tomfoolery on you, you really do get the upper hand, and that magic right at that moment screamed victory. And there's nothing anybody can do about that when you do that to them because they know they already lost. The only thing they can really do is get mad at you after that. I mean, when you're really that much of a cool cookie or whatever, cucumber, you know, sometimes people get a little irritated. But think about that approach with somebody that makes his life go around century after century by destroying the youngest people he can find in any way possible. Think about that. How would you approach getting into the life of that person and putting a wrench in the gears? How would you do that? I figured out a way, and you better believe it. Sure, they're all playing their games out there still. That I can't stop, but I can stop uh, many hours of just the detection in the ether, in the pinpointing it, and people are all scared like I'd be drawing attention to myself. People hear me anyway, but I've had a shield over me for about, I'm going to say, maybe 15 years now. I ask God to not let me see and deal with this right now for a while. And I kept telling Doug, I sensed he was closer, the Spirit of God, the person that actually carries that. Well, this is the way I worded it. Our Father, is really close, and you're in trouble. That's how I worded it. I said things like that. Or I'd tell him there's a big ship in the sky and it's getting closer. I can just feel it. And it's here to just deal with people like you know, stuff like that. So, yeah, I know his sorcery and his words are murderous. I also have my ways because one mistake people make is when they do something awful to you. And if you've had an awful lot of things like that happen to you, you learn what happened to you even better than the person that applied it. Think about that, you know? You know what it's all about from both sides of the spectrum after that. I mean, you can imagine that. That comes in handy in the art of war, too, when somebody's done something to you. You don't want to necessarily go and do the same thing, especially if you're battling the same person. You have to have a great imagination in your skills. You have to be like as fluid as talking when you're fighting. You know, it has to be split second timing to apply things properly. Faster than a cat, way faster. If you can't be that, you can't be that. You know? Well, my brain's way faster than that. And I only have one that I trust to give me that timing inside myself and all that. And that's what I'm talking about. These people can pretend that they have a close relationship with the oversoul, but they're full of shit because just who they are by their lack of inner stuff, you know, says it all. What can you actually do in your life? Are you a one-trick pony? I don't think if you were God, you'd be multi-talented in the flesh, wouldn't you? You'd have something going on. And that's my point about these people. So just be careful who you listen to because they're all fucking lying. Yeah, they are. Just like I don't need to listen to tarot or astrology or any, I mean, I study that and astronomy. I have two telescopes too, but I used to use my brother's. I started young with this stuff, all of this stuff, alchemy, all of it, all the sciences, even the pseudoscience of psychology. Boy, they hate it that I went there. Believe me, the dark ball really hates that about my mind, you know? So, yeah, I read the Dark Bible too a very, very long time ago and made the connection of why it was put in the darkness long time ago for various reasons. But, and the Witch's Handbook, all kinds of everything I could get my hands on that had anything to do with any science or um, occult or religion or everything, all of it. That's what you have to do. Have that inquisitive mind and never lose your connection with God. Ask Him one thing, never let go of my hand. Simple as that, isn't it? And people talk about faith, whatever. And that's why there really is only one path. It's really, to me, not right or left. It just is the way. And there's only one way. And if you go into things with pure intention, you'll never lose your way. Never. And you won't be stupid along the way either. So, mm. What are you willing to personally sacrifice to achieve something you want to know? Would you, like me, maybe I like to, especially in the evening, sit down and have a few hits. Not that I don't earlier in the day now, but I went decades without doing things like that for different jobs and my kids and whatever it took, you know. So I'm enjoying my life. You know what I'm saying? The way I want to enjoy it. So, but I'll wait, like I used to tell my adult sons, I'd give them adult sons, give them some bud and say, yeah, I just expect because they're living in my house, do a certain amount of something and I don't have a problem. But these little animals wanted to get up and start smoking and whatever right in the morning. It's like, no, we don't do that around here. We get our work done first, then we relax in the afternoon. That's the way adults do things in this world. I mean, I'm not talking your occasional whatever. I've had a beer in the morning. I had a beer all night long and in the morning and had to go get more when I was drinking like about 18 beers a day or a quart of whiskey or more a day, depending on what was going on in my life. You know, I had different things, substances that, not lots, but, like way back when I did some acid, like a few times. Mostly natural stuff. I did shrooms a few times. had the opportunity to laugh my ass off on some quaaludes that I shared with my friends in the 70s and some crosstops that were speed. That was my favorite. Loved them because I was working at the hospital. I was working like, I think all the nurses were just fucking busted. Excuse me, but yeah, um, yeah, I was just an aide, but I was studying for my 1 year LPN. I actually had enough hours to be about a 1.5, and I could not find a babysitter, and the father was missing in action. He was there, but he was missing in action. Yeah, so long time ago. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, what are you willing to sacrifice in your life to achieve something where others wouldn't be willing to take a little bit of time for other people in their life? And that's a valid question because those are people of integrity. That's what it means. That's what being integral with other people and having that connection. You know, like the bittersweet symphony where all the veins meet. Yeah, that's here on this planet, people. You know, that's the human family. Doesn't make you a part of God. Once again, I'm just going to beat it into your heads till you can get it. You know, being made in the image is like a father looking like the son. Do they have the same soul? Do they have the same brain, the same heart? No. And by the way, somebody said they were going to get my soul. God himself, but I got yours. Just for the record, nobody gets my soul. That belongs to one and only, you know. Yeah. So, what do you think about these people that are pretending to be enlightened? And I'm not saying they're not. And there are some people that have that God connection. So, for on that note, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the stupidity within the truly arrogant. That is the mistake of the Son of God, thinking that he actually was God. I'm not saying that's not true on this planet right now, but way back when, that was not the case. So, if you're new here, I get in my moods where I share a lot of music or things that I think have really good information in there for one reason or another, or one person in particular, maybe. So just scroll past it. Don't get annoyed, you know, because I come up with some really, I know the things people need to hear on the days they need to hear it, and it just seems to appear on here for me like that. It even could be years old and I'd be thinking something, and there it is. So, you know, AI and his invasive tactics, you know. Anyway, yeah, Doug always tells me, I used to tell people, be careful like side of your brain you're hearing information, or is it coming from your inner self, or are you using your gut instincts? And lately Doug's been sitting here telling me, don't listen to what's coming in on your left side of your ear. And he said that like 2 or 3 times. And I'm thinking, it's not really quite where I get my information, although I kind of said something along those lines, but it was worded a little bit different. So, but that's really not quite my communication between God and I, and nothing can get in between that for me. So it doesn't matter. I don't care. I just kind of walked away or laughed it off or said something like, oh, yeah, I know that, or whatever. You know, what he's saying is true, don't get me wrong, but the reason I can't be deceived is because I have a different type of connection. And yes, it is in my blood, and yes, it is in the ether, and um, yeah, you know, anyway, least we be deceived, right? you know, God forbid. yeah. Well, I hope some of my Christians that have, friends on here and on Facebook, Muslims, Jews, all my, whoever and whatever, even like all kinds of religions over on my Facebook, but I hope they will look into the deceptions around the world. It's not just within Christianity, it's the whole thing, you know. Yeah. Well, I'm going to get this uploaded. I just wanted to talk about that a little more. That, yeah, you got to pay to play. So when I decided to just go in life like a warrior, like that, like a huntress, when you're being hunted, what are you going to do? Keep running? Like when I lost half my book I had written called You Can Run But You Can't Hide, and this was decades ago also. And underneath I had something, a subtitle. Doesn't matter right now. But yeah, pick the hill you want to die on. That's my saying. But anyway, Lionel Nation stole it from me too. Creep. Or emulated me. Creep. But anyway, um, yeah. anyway, these people lie to themselves, and then they want to lie to us, and we're just supposed to say it's okay. It doesn't mean they don't have a God connection. It's just not as deep or as enlightened as they want to profess. Most people. So just, beware of that. And once again, with that narcissist thing with Sam Vaknin, um, unless it stems from a physical turning into the mental or emotional, our mental and emotional health is a choice on a daily basis. And I have proven my case. Because and one other thing, when I meet people, and you should feel the same way, you're to me like a psychological case study. I examine you, I dissect you right into your bones, and your soul can't escape that examination. So somebody thinks it's funny saying Timmy. That was the first boy I liked. Yep, Timmy. Timmy. Whose was yours? Sally? Whatever. So keep saying it. I think it's funny too. Sad thing about Timmy is when he got married and he was working on his car, he had two little boys like I did too, his wife and him, and was working on the car, and the kid, littlest one, ran out and got hit, and they lost like their, I don't know if it was the first or second born. We weren't close like after even we got to be teenagers. We were just tiny kids when we liked each other. So I'm going to get this uploaded. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Yeah, come say hi. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.
I gotta get something done. If I disappear, I gotta go get gas. I'm out of gas and everything out there. Tractor.
All right. Sounds good. See you later.
I'll be outside.
All right. See you later.